Thank you for tuning in to Interview with DJ Nocturna. It's another wonderful, it's a holiday today. So I'm here talking with a singer, songwriter, producer from Leeds, England, who's now currently living in LA. Back on the show, Julian Shah-Tayler. Hi, Julian. Welcome back.
Hi, Anne. Lovely to see you again. Sorry, DJ Nocturna.
That's okay. Everybody just goes, oh, it's A-N-D. They're all thinking it's like, they never get that part. But anyway, always good to see you. Now you're from Leeds, England, right? And then you moved.
That's correct.
How long have you been now in LA?
This is my 15th year. I had the anniversary in July or August, and I've been 15 years. Yeah.
I know the last time we did this interview, it was just a podcast. It was like 2 years ago. So I think it's great to have you back. I know you've been so busy with, you've done like collaborations with David J, the bass player for Bauhaus. You've done it with MGT, the amazing guitar player. And you have this new one that's coming up. I'm going to talk about it in a little bit. And so many other collaborations as well. And I know you have I don't know if you have more than two, but I know you have two bands, the cover bands that you do, which I love some of these songs that you put out. I mean, they're really great. I know it's called Strangelove, a Depeche Mode cover band called The Experience.
It's a tribute band rather than a cover band. There's a distinction.
Tribute band. Okay.
Yeah, a tribute band is by definition something that tries to replicate more than just the songs. It's trying to put you in the shoes of the original artist. So for example, when I do my David Bowie tribute, which is one that I really enjoy doing, I dress as David Bowie. I sing like David.
Oh yeah, okay, all right.
Whereas a cover band will just play the songs. So there's a big difference. And if you work with any tribute artists, I'm not too worried about the definition there, but some tribute artists are quite.
That makes a difference, because people are going to the show not just to hear the song, but to see that and feel the actual energy of the artist.
That's right. Yes.
And you emulate that, right? So the other band, the other tribute band you do is called the Band That Fell to Earth, which is the David Bowie Odyssey.
Yes.
And some of those songs, a lot of those songs you put out there are just amazing. And we want to talk about that. And so tell us, how did you get started in this projects? I know, and of course the Singularity.
Well, the Singularity is a solo project. It's always just been me, and then I invite guest players on. So, as you said, I've worked recently with David J quite a lot. We do a lot of remixes together, and he's played bass on a number of my songs. And then I worked with Darwin, who is actually his manager.
Yes.
I played on something they did together called Night Crickets with Viglione from the Violent Femmes as well on drums.
Right.
Also, I have Carmine Rojas from David Bowie's band on the upcoming album. He's playing bass on a few songs with me. Alan White, who plays and writes with Morrissey, he's on one song. And we did a remix recently of Wayne Hussey's wife, Cynthia Hussey.
That's right.
Beauty and Chaos. So Alan's on guitars and I did the rest of the track. So, but loads of collaborations. Yeah. I mean, for some reason, the remix stuff has been taking off quite nicely. So I've been doing a lot of that. And currently I'm working on a project with a magnificent artist who's a magazine publisher called Marvin Jarrett. And he and I have just recently co-written a song with Dave Stewart, who is the Eurythmics. Dave Stewart. So the very idea that I'm working with the guy who wrote Sweet Dreams Are Made of This is blowing to me. It's very bizarre. And I'm thrilled and honored. So that's all great.
Wow, that's amazing. I don't know how you find time to do all that stuff, but and then these tribute bands, right? I mean, you also perform them out in different places.
Yeah, Strangelove is a very, very big band. We tour every weekend, and it's to thousands of people. It's very successful, and I mean, it's a joy. I mean, obviously, I would assume, Anne, that you're a big fan of Depeche Mode.
Of course. The song I know you did in your room, which is so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was on a #1 album, actually. then that was the #1 album in Germany for a couple of months, I think, on the label, because they put it out, and of course Depeche Mode tribute albums do very well, and that was #1 in the Amazon charts for a couple of months, I think.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite Depeche Mode song? If you have to, I mean, you must have a lot. Crazy. That's a crazy question to ask you, but like
it's very difficult. We actually shot a series of videos recently with Strangelove, talking about our favorite songs, and on that video, my favorite song for that time when I was being interviewed is "Fly on the Windscreen."
Oh yeah, yeah, of course, yeah. That's you know, Black Celebration is my favorite. I if I had to pick something, because it brings a lot of memories for me. You know.
Yeah,
that early days of yeah. I mean, early for that, but yeah.
Violator's the album that probably hangs together the best, and everybody knows the best. But I agree. I think Black Celebration is their magnum opus, and I mean, Question of Lust is just that's the song that got me into Depeche Mode, and In Your Room is just that is the one that cemented my love for them, because I was a big rock fan. I didn't like electronic music particularly, and then they brought out Songs of Faith and Devotion, and Songs of Faith and Devotion is just the perfect mix. It's the pivot between electronica and rock music. And In Your Room, although I don't think the version on the album is the best version of In Your Room, but the song writing on it is just magnificent. Like, he's a brilliant songwriter. He's a David Bowie level songwriter. And, you know, if you ignore all the pots and pans clattering in the background and just take the songs back to the song and play on an acoustic guitar or a piano, Martin Gore writes the most spectacularly affecting, beautiful songs. So that was the one. It was In Your Room. It was Question of Lust and In Your Room, which just brought me into Depeche Mode. And then you discover the rest of them. It Doesn't Matter Too, and Fly on the Windscreen.
Oh yeah, It Doesn't Matter Too. That's such beautiful. They're all beautiful, you know. Just the whole, you know, oh God is raining. I mean, it just gives you the chills, right?
Oh sure, yeah.
Just all this stuff.
Yeah, the other one is Sweetest Perfection, and what's the other one? Well, I'm down on my knees again, and I pray to the only one. What's that song? That one, anyway. That one.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many. I mean, even the more current ones, you know, that came out, and they have remixes. It's all done by different people. I just love them all. I mean, the danceable ones and everything, you know. And the other song I like you did was the Joy Division, Atmosphere. Beautiful.
Love that song. That was the song I got. That's the song that The Cure had their whole Disintegration era based on, was Atmosphere by Joy Division. And Disintegration is my #1 played album of all time by The Cure. And they even said that Atmosphere by Joy Division was their, like, Plain Song was their attempt to replicate Atmosphere by Joy Division. And I can see it. And I've covered Plain Song too, because that is glorious.
So when I play this interview on the radio show, I'll be sure to play all these other stuff too. For sure, because I think it just works really beautiful. I mean, I've always loved your work, you know, because I can relate to that period that you love and the bands you love. Of course, David Bowie is all-time favorite of mine. One of them, I can't say my all-time favorite, but you've done covers with David, you know, songs with David Bowie, and I have yet to go to your tribute shows here. But
we would love to come to Hawaii. What island are you on?
Oahu.
You're on Oahu. Yeah. We would love to come. I mean, we've been trying to get over there for years. We know Ocean Aid.
Which one?
Did you go to Ocean Aid?
No.
There was a big fundraising festival. I think it was on Oahu. Anyway, our friends organized that festival, so we were trying to negotiate to come over, because obviously there's.
When you perform, do you do both of these tribute bands together, or you do one at a time?
When we tour with Strangelove, I've prepared a whole load of tracks that are electronic based tracks. I have tried to imagine what Alan Wilder might do with the Bowie songs, so I produced them all so they sound a bit, like Depeche Mode. So when we go out and play that, I open up with the Bowie set,
Oh,
And because a lot of Depeche Mode fans love Bowie songs, and then we follow it up with Strangelove, so it really fits well. And of course, it's the
yeah.
same people in the band, so it's a good option.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and of course they with Bowie songs, I love the Bewley Brothers, and you know, Peter Murphy did a great cover of a great cover of that song too.
Of Bewley Brothers,
Yeah.
I've done that one actually. I did, I do the live streams every now and then.
I know you do. Yeah, I've caught a few of them. And
yeah, I did the Bewley Brothers. That was a request at one point, and I love that song.
I think I was the one that requested it.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it may have been you. It was you and somebody else, because there was this other person who was really. He said, "I bet you can't do the Bewley Brothers. You don't know that song." Of course. If you know Bowie, you know all of Hunky Dory, all of Ziggy Stardust, all of Let's Dance, all of Diamond Dogs. You don't all of Station to Station. You don't just pick single songs. It's like, so yeah, of course I knew it and I love it.
Yeah. So I have to figure this out. Yeah, I would love to catch one of your shows, or if you come to Hawaii, even better. Yeah. So that's
I'm sorry you came here and we're involved in putting something together, and I was on tour, if you remember. When you came over here?
I came. Yeah, I went there to play somewhere and to LA, and then I think you were leaving. You went back to England for a little while. So I missed.
Was that it? Right, yeah. No, I would love to have done, but I think it was my sister's wedding or something, and you had David J DJing, right? Is that correct?
No, I think David was gonna be playing it separately in a different venue, a different thing. But I think it got postponed. Yeah, it wasn't the height of COVID-19, so I mean it wasn't quite over yet. So yeah.
Okay.
But that was well, there's always next time,
Yeah, for sure. I'm as I say, we're pretty much out from Friday to Sunday every week touring, because we go all over the place. We're heading out to Australia in November to do.
Oh yeah, this year?
Yeah.
November what?
November. I think it's the middle of November. It's like the 9th to the 17th or something.
Oh, okay. We're at Melbourne?
We're doing Melbourne, we're doing Brisbane, Sydney, Perth, Adelaide.
I'll be in Melbourne in early November to mid-November.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Well, come and see the show. I'm
going to talk to you about that. Maybe you can tell me the dates if you have them. If you want to mention them now.
They're up on the Strangelove site.
Okay. Oh, okay.
My mind doesn't remember dates, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, I'll be sure to mention that on the show, and I'll post it somewhere also.
Yeah,
but you are also, your latest one that we're here to talk about is your collaboration with Arden and the Wolves, right?
Yes, that's correct.
It's a tribute to the Labyrinth. It's called At the End of Time, and I know you perform. You composed the song along with her. Yeah, tell us about that. How did you guys meet? And
she's come to a lot of Bowie shows of mine, and she's a huge Bowie fan, obviously, as everybody in my periphery is, and she was looking for collaborators. She believes in practical magic with a K, and was putting the song out to the universe to get a collaborator. And obviously I represent, in some ways, I'm the avatar of Bowie to some people, because I perform so much as a David Bowie tribute. So she reached out to me, and then I sent her one of my tracks that I've been working on, which was pretty much complete. And she really liked it. So she went away and put some lyrics and a melody on it. We collaborated a little bit on the rewriting of the lyrics, but it was pretty much fully formed. I was very pleased, because it's rare that I get a collaborator who just comes in with something done. And so we shot a video for it, and it came out like that, and that's got released a couple of weeks ago, I believe.
Wow, yeah, there's a video as well, and if people want to find it, it's on your YouTube channel.
It is not on my YouTube channel. I think it's on Arden's YouTube channel. I haven't really communicated with her about it since the release, to be honest. So.
Okay. So yeah, I'll put a link, whatever that needs to be put on. I'll put on the link on the bottom part. So this is gonna be released. What date do you have this release? The
video, it's out. It's all out already. Yeah.
The entire album is coming out October.
No. We won't be doing any more working together.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Just the one song. Yeah.
Oh, the one song. Okay, October. Now October 14th.
My album's coming out in October.
October, right? October 14th. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That's when my album is coming out, which is
Okay.
separate from the Arden collaboration.
Oh, okay, your album. Okay, let's talk about your album that's coming out.
Sure.
Okay.
It's called Elysium. And it is, it's basically the story of a love affair from the very start, from the moment of, seeing the object of my affection and my muse to the present day, and the songs that I wrote in that process over the last 4 years. So it's a narrative. It's a narrative. So it has some great, happy songs, and it has some sad songs when things weren't going so well. And it works really well as a sort of story. And I think most people will relate to that because, you have ups and downs and you persevere through them. And, as you get old like me, you kind of begin to understand and accept the ups and downs and the ebb and flow, the tides of relationships. And they're equally important. The great joys and euphorias of first meeting somebody and falling in love, and then the bitter devastation of when things aren't going right, or and then how to sort of like take that back to what you believe in, and love. So it will contain songs, because it's going to compile from the 2020 releases.
Oh yeah, okay.
But I'm adding a few more songs, so it's going to be a proper album then. And because I don't know about you, Anne, but I like albums. I like to listen to a whole album. I feel nowadays people go for singles and then they have playlists and all that stuff. And of course, as a DJ, that's what you do. And I don't disrespect that at all. But I miss Disintegration or Spirit of Eden or In Rainbows or something like that, where you just sit and you listen. The Wall.
Yeah.
And the whole
I know what you mean. Yeah, because you remember the album and you remember all the tracks when you do it that way, when the whole album comes out, you just know, right? The tracks. Yeah, I think you and I were both friends with the Stevie Wonder producer, right?
Robert Margouleff.
Yeah. And the Innervisions album is the same thing. I remember the songs because of the whole entire album. You hear it repeatedly, right? So yeah. I know what you're talking about there. Yeah,
absolutely. And Robert worked with me on 3 of the songs that are going to be on the album. So he and I have a single out this currently, which is actually a remix that my friend David Chatfield, who's worked with Prince and Bowie in the past, he's done a remix for me. He approached me, actually. It's a funny story. It was trying to reference a mix that he had done, and he told his Siri or whoever it was he was talking to, his AI assistant, play this song. And they started playing End of the Line, which is one of my songs. And he had it in his library and he was sort of like, what's this? Oh my God, I love this song. And he ended up approaching me and saying, I've been trying to work with you forever. And I think the universe is now telling me this is the time, because he played me your song. I didn't know who it was. And when I found out it was you, I knew I had to now start working with you again. So he's done a remix of that, and it started to pick up traction, his remix, on Spotify currently. So that's really exciting. It's also going to serve as a single to introduce people to the fact that the album's coming out. And it's a remix, so it's not the same version, if you see what I mean. Because otherwise, why release it again? But he's done a great remix. It's just, he's cut to the chase. It's a lot more, a pop 7-inch single version, whereas mine is a 12-inch single art rock monster.
Yeah. So how many tracks?
Just one. He just did one remix.
The entire album?
The Elysium album will be between 12 and 15 songs long. I'm trying to, I haven't got the final set list yet, but it's probably going to be 12 songs long. I don't think you want to go longer than that, honestly. I don't want it to be a double album. I want it to be a pleasant, concise listening experience,
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it's going to be really good. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm very proud of it. I feel it's the most cohesive artistic statement I've ever made, and it has a narrative. It's all about one thing, and it's a very romantic theme. I mean, you got something there. I mean, it's coming from the heart. So it's it's about meeting the love of your life, and how that goes. And what you have to do to, like, love is a doing word. It's a verb. Like, you actively have to love somebody and choose each day to be, because love is the only thing that separates us from, nothingness and the void. I feel like you have to love something, whether it be your child or the person that makes you feel happy. The joy in your life derives from love, and everything else is just commentary, as Rabbi Hillel said back in the day.
Wow. Oh, well, we're looking forward to this one. I mean, I love love songs, So there are obviously a lot of love songs there, right? Whether they're sad or happy, you got to be. I mean, it's okay to be sad because it's a passing thing. Everything is always, fluctuate. Yep, everything is transient, correct? So and you seem like a very romantic guy, because if you like David Bowie, you're a romantic guy.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, it's always got to have some romance in it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
A lot of songs, the intellectual side of music, like people like Devo, who I love, when I hear it, it seems like the intellectual. My songs, I try for them to be intellectually rigorous, romantic, and sexy. If they're those three things, and danceable, right? So right there, you've got Bauhaus, you've got Depeche Mode, you've got The Cure.
Yeah, you got everything there. Yeah, those are the very important criteria for music. Right?
Yeah. If you get all four, Prince, another one.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Well, that's sexy. Yeah, so that's for sure. So you got all that. Wow, we're looking forward to this. So the release date again, it's October 14th.
I think, did we say 14th? It's the Friday before the 17th. The 17th is the anniversary of when we met at Elysium in Austin, Texas.
Oh, okay.
Which is a venue.
So that explains it. Oh, yeah. So that's, October 14th is a Friday.
Yes, October 14th is the release date, and as I say, it's the 3 days before, because the release dates come on a Friday. I'm releasing it then in time for the anniversary, and hopefully, I will do a show on that date. We'll see. I have a band in mind, but we haven't started rehearsing yet. So
in LA,
it'll be in LA. Yeah. I mean, it could be in Austin, I guess, because Elysium is in Austin. But I have friends in LA who will come. Whereas in Austin, I have very few friends who will come to a show. So,
wow, a lot of stuff going on. Well, it's good to know these things. Okay. Wow. So so we make sure if anybody want to check out your music, of course, they can go to your website, julianshah-tayler.com.
That's correct. Yes.
And, this Shah is spelled SHAH, and then TAYLER.
Yes, that's correct. JulianShah-Tayler.com.
I'll put a link in the bottom, because sometimes people can't spell. I mean, everything's spelled differently, right, these days. So so we want to make sure.
Right. Yes.
Okay. I mean, besides so you're going to be touring in November in Australia. Anything else? Anything else in the near future?
Let me think. Well, I mentioned the Marvin thing. I'm doing some more stuff with David. I've got a remix with David J coming up that we're doing. As I say, this thing with Dave Stewart, I don't know when it's going to come out, but that's all exciting. I just went to the premiere of the award-winning comedy award movie that I narrated, called Artists in Agony. It's a friend of mine directed it and wanted me to do, a very silly comedy narration. So prepare to, if you get the chance to see it, it's very silly. And I enjoyed it. I was surprised. There's also a movie I did the outro song for that's coming out in Finland. I don't know when the slated release date is, but I've just sent them the video of me singing the song. That's called, it's a Finnish word, I can't remember. I'm sorry. So there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, I know there are. So the best place is to find you on julianshah-tayler.com.
Yeah, I think so.
You also have a Singularity Music Bandcamp page. Singularitymusic.bandcamp.com. And of course, you can find you on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Yeah. I'll give you all the links to that. Do you have all the links to that? I don't know.
I
Because
do.
I have my link tree.
I do. Yeah. I will put the link tree on the bottom of the interview page, because
That's
that
perfect.
I the link tree has everything. If anybody wants to know every little thing, everything you
Yeah.
want to know about Julian Shah-Tayler but was afraid to ask, go to the link tree.
Don't be afraid to ask. I don't get afraid.
That's like that book. But thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you coming on. I love your music, and keep it up. And I'm gonna try to catch you in Australia. So we'll see
That would be lovely. That would be a nice treat.
if I'm still
Well,
gonna be there when. So I'll be there in the beginning of November until the middle part.
Okay.
It depends when you're playing and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I hope I will.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to be there around the middle part. So whenever Melbourne is, I mean,
Okay.
I'll look up the dates now, and I'll send you a link to
Okay.
our. I think there's a
Yeah.
poster which has all the Australian dates on the Strangelove site. So, and of course, guest list VIP, the whole deal. And
Right.
if you'd like, let's record an interview with Strangelove, because I don't know whether it's on brand with the show, but we're a well-known tribute. We do okay. So.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. Well, I'll talk to you in just a minute. Let me turn this off. Okay. Thank you, Julian. Great to
Thank
have
you so much for having me on, DJ Nocturna.
you. One moment.